Alrighty, hello everybody. This is going to be my first attempt at a tutorial. This is a beginner, what I would consider most definitely a beginner move or string of small individual moves put together. Um, for those of you that don't know me, I've been into all kinds of skill toy stuff over the years. Starting since I was a child, I liked yo-yos. I got into balisongs, otherwise known as butterfly knives, at a very young age. Through the 90s and into the early 2000s. And as these things progressed, I got into beglery back in, I think, 2017. We're talking a huge time gap there. But the point is that all these things ended up getting names for moves and stuff. And growing up, I always just did whatever came to me or whatever I thought looked cool, and I didn't know anything had names and never paid attention. So with Chetki, I'm sure just like with beglery, there is going to be certain names for certain moves, um, and tutorials on individual unique tricks and styles as time goes by. So for the sake of names, I'm gonna call this walking the beats. Very basic. I think every beginner should definitely learn this or maybe practice it in some form. Not only is it kind of cool and a nice little beginner fidget way to play around with these, but I feel like it's something that also sets your fingers up to get used to having different tension applied in between each finger. Um, different amount of pressure, I should say, or tension between fingers on pulling the item or looping the item, the check key. Um, but this type of thing also kind of would be very useful for transitioning into other things because you are practicing each finger, um, and getting used to swings and momentums and finger grips and all that stuff, right? So what I have here is a round square, double brass stripe, Remishock, standard length. Um, this is the most popular of the two models that Around Square offers. From my understanding, the majority of the community likes the Remishock. I personally prefer the beaded models. Personal preference. They don't wrap quite as well. They're a little bit more stiff, um, but I prefer the way they feel and the way they move just a little bit more. But I totally understand why a lot of people like this. So I brought both out because for the sake of showing um, that it can be done with both models, what I'm going to be showing here, which is exactly this. And I'm just calling this, like I said, walking the beat. I do this the most walking down the road. Like I just took a jaunt down the road and I did this the whole time I was walking. It's pretty easy to learn. It has a decent amount of little, visual flair to it, but more importantly, it's something that you can do repetitively as like a fidget to pass time or just get some practice between fingers and swinging momentum of these things. Just a great little beginner thing. So we are going to switch to my comfort model. So the way this is going to start off is, like I said, I'm not huge with names for grips and everything, but we're talking a top forward grip, I would call it. And what you want to do is you want to practice coming around that finger and using your middle finger as like an anchor or a catch before the loop finishes and it just wants to fall to the ground. And that would look like that. So you are using that middle finger immediately on doing this, right? And for a few of you that are super beginners and have never touched beglery, of course, this alone might take a little bit of practice before. Oops, sorry, I got very little room here. This alone might take a little bit of practice before you kind of get it down. You want the catch to be at the back ends. If you're a little bit further up, that's fine. If you are swinging around your finger, and sorry, I'm trying to focus on the camera, swinging around your finger and you are ending up like way up here, it's not going to work. You need a little bit more practice. But once you get that down, this is as simple as transitioning on each loop back and forth between your fingers. So you're going to come down here, and now your ring finger is gaining the control of this, coming on the backswing, right? And then on the next one down, you are simply trading down one more time to your pinky and coming up. Now, as you trade your finger down, you're gonna want to try to keep it nice and tight, so that way you don't have a whole lot of end here. From here, this is where the trick, so to speak, or the beginner motions begin to take effect. You are set to either come around, Jesus Lord Almighty. You are set to either, hold on, let me get back. Come around and catch it here, in which case you can release and start it all over again, right? Or you can do like I just did right there, which is my preferred method and favorite way to do it, although it doesn't look as flashy. When you get down to the pinky, you are simply bringing your thumb down and transitioning that back up on one or two swings or three swings, however many it takes you to transition it smoothly back up, because you want to be starting back up in that grip again to continue the cycle all over again, just like that. Now, this is a repetitive looping type of thing. You can stop it like I just did halfway through, reverse the direction. You can throw some spins in there. I have no room here to actually do that, but you can throw some spins in there and continue down the loop. I firmly believe this walking the beat is what I'm going to call it, is a great beginner thing to get into. Because as you can see, every time you change fingers, it kind of allows you to stop there and transition into something else, whether it's coming around fingers, changing grips, or coming back around the hands. It really does give you the option of a setup and lead into other things that you are wanting to practice or get into. It is great momentum practice trick, I guess. You get used to the weight swinging back and forth. You get used to the feel of semi-wraps around the finger, right? Because eventually you're going to want to get into those things where people are doing the double wraps like that, and you want to get a little bit more flashy, right? So if you want to go that route, learning the single wraps, the single half wraps, is a good way to get into wraps. So I hope you were able to get something from that. I've never done a tutorial before. I hope you were able to at least see that enough times where you could kind of practice it step by step and get a feel for what I'm doing. Again, this is just trading fingers. I'm trading fingers every time I come around. And again, you can stop at any point and reverse the direction, right? But yeah, I hope that was acceptable for y'all. I'm going to label this as Chetki for YouTube upload. I'm going to label this as Chetki tutorial, walking the beat, beginner. I don't know. I've never done tutorials before, so for a lot of you advanced guys, you're going to know what I'm doing here. You're going to see how simple this is. So, you know, you're probably already... Sorry, I'm super sweaty. I'm super sweaty. It's hot out here. I'm in Florida. you guys are going to know what this is right away, especially if you've gotten into beglery before this. Then you will realize that this is a hand over hand trading loop that is, I believe, popular with beglery as well. So I just adapted it into Chetki form. So, and it can be done like I've shown in the video. It can be done with whichever model you have. It really doesn't matter if you have the Remashok or the Posvanok. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. If you liked this, leave a comment and let me know, and I'll start doing more of these. This was like the basic beginner intro for me for a Chetki tutorial. Super simple. Keep it simple, right? And I know a few other things that I can do individual tutorials on if you like what I did here. Peace.